Hello YouTube, this is Silver Age Dave. Today is Comic Book Wednesday. I've done my comic book shopping for today, but today is not a haul video. Today I'm doing a shout out support video for a member of the 9.8 crew. Comics Corner Club has a 500 sub contest. He just announced. He's at 528 today. The contest runs June 4th through June 18th, so it's a short one. You want to get those entries in. Let's show him some love. Super nice guy. He's asking for the top 3 moments in your comic collecting history, and he wants to know about a current series that you're reading. And then, like I say, he's such a nice guy. This is his what do you call this, a website? I don't know what you call it. It's a YouTube site or YouTube channel page, and this is his. And then listen how nice he is. Okay.
Kind of something I want everyone to participate in. So if you guys want, y'all can leave a link to your video submission entry and this video on my description in my comments down below, or I'll just look up on YouTube. So good luck to everyone who participates. Please participate. I would love to have as many people participate, and great prizes to give away. So please participate and just continue showing love if you are. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I hope you enjoy the content that I put out. And that is all I have for you guys. So take care. Be easy.
All right. So it's as simple as that. How nice is he? So I always write on the bottom here, comment and link, because I think that's just a good standard process. Let someone know when you're throwing a contest. It's easy for entries to get lost. And speaking from experience, you never want that to happen. If someone takes the time to enter a contest, you don't want to, overlook them. But it can happen pretty easily. So it's lunchtime, and I thought I'll just bust through this thing. He's asking for the top 3 moments in comic collecting history. But with Silver Age Dave, it can't be that easy. So I broke down my top 5 because I've been at this a long time. So the first one, undisputed, is going to be basically holding my Busha's hand. Okay, Busha's Polish grandma, Helen Skochilis, was a lovely lady. When I was a little guy, she would take me by the hand. If I close my eyes, I can actually feel her hand on mine still. And she'd take me down to this corner store, and just a convenience store. And they had this rack of comics, and basically this is exactly what I was seeing. It was all this Bronze Age sweetness. The colors and the titles, everything just jumped out at you. And if you can imagine, probably a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid looking up at this stuff, I can't even begin to describe the overpowering. First, she's just lovely and hold my hand, which makes it the best day ever, any day, right? And then you're looking at all this cool stuff. So certainly she got me started on Doc Savage and Batman and so many titles back then, Captain America, and really when you come down here to Kong and Skull, the Slayer, and so many of these, Shazam, she's the lady that paid for those early books for me, and so that's gonna be easily my number 1, probably forever and ever. The second one is gonna be Batman 66. Which that combined with Busha walking me through, she would buy me things like these treasuries. Almost all my treasuries came through her. She would, spend $1 on those things. Or the early ones were $1, but it was overwhelming. But that combined with the Batman 66 show certainly cemented it for me as a comic book nerd or nut or whatever we want to call it. So Batman 66 is my number 2. And then and these are all based on age, as I'm getting older. So my number 3 is going to be my Thor score, which I've talked about so many times. All of these Thor books that are up here on the wall, these beautiful Silver Age Thor books from 66, 67, 68. I was at a friend's house, and we bought these basically for $0.05 a piece. And this CGC stack here is loaded with them. And then I'm going to come over here. I think right now I have 4 or 5 long boxes of just Thor. And this one here, I'll try to pull out. is just loaded for bear with Thor comics, and these are things that I paid a nickel a piece for. This was probably, boy, either very, very late 70s or early 80s, and there's just so many of them in here, and it all came from one collection, and so it certainly at that young age, maybe I was 11, it really jump started. For, you know, all the comics I had were Bronze Age, but to jump start into a Silver Age like that, and then I, you know, fortunately I was able to take care of them, and they lasted. So Thor score is going to be my number 3. My number 4, I'm going to point to this ship right here, and I remember in 1970, I think it was 76 or 77, whenever a Star Wars movie came out, I remember going with my dad. We had a Ford station wagon. It might have been a Pinto, and I'll walk over here. We'll look at more Star Wars stuff. But I remember driving with him. My cousin Johnny, who is 6 months older than me, he's now deceased. He and his dad had gone to see it, and I remember them describing it, and I was like, Star Wars, what's that? And so my dad took me, and we went to see the Star Wars movie. And it was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen and felt. And I remember on the ride home, every button in that Pinto was a button just like I'm sitting in the Millennium Falcon. Okay, just like I'm in an X-Wing fighter. And then that, of course, translated to Star Wars comic books. And I unfortunately I have a whole box of Star Wars comics that I can't find right now, but this is some of the overflow I'm working through. I'm going to be bagging and boarding all these guys again, and it was just an incredible movie. These aren't in particular order; they go out of order here a little bit, but these are front and backed is how I decided I'm going to do these, because I'm not going to probably ever sell any Star Wars stuff. So I'm front and back, and I'm actually, a lot of the stuff as I'm going through, I'm doing front and back as a bagging style. Well, that one's got 226s. Looks like I have a newsstand and a direct there. So anyway, Star Wars the movie dragged me into the sci-fi. You know, in certainly that led into comic books, and I have there's 3 Treasury editions. There's number 1, but I have the other ones in this cabinet. I've got tons of Treasury issues that I just didn't have room for. I'll be changing some of those out soon. And then, you know, certainly the Secret Wars days, you know, going to the comic store with my friend Jeff and buying these comic books. You guys see this stuff all the time, all too often. But all these guys up here, and the list goes on, but certainly these that I remember standing, looking at the rack, and it's almost like, you know, Jeff wasn't holding my hand like Busha did, but it was almost like he was telling me, hey, look at this, look at that, and we'd pick these things out. It was really an incredible time. So that's going to be my number 5. Now, I said I'm going to do 5. We're 8.5 minutes in, but I have a number 6. And the number 6 greatest moment in my comic collecting history is today. Okay, literally, it's talking with you guys. It's sharing this hobby with you guys. For, you know, 45 years, my comics were always boxed up and they were always put away. And, you know, I had friends that got to see them, but it was all too infrequent. And so now, having this stuff and being able to share this hobby with all you guys, so passionate. I just love watching the videos. During the little break I took, I'm watching so many videos, and I went through a weird phase for a couple weeks where I didn't want to comment on anything. I just kind of retracted, and I watched, and now I'm starting to comment again a little more, but I'm just loving the interaction we all have. So guys, consider yourselves blessed, because this has never happened before. This YouTube community that we have, You know, it's going to have its good moments and its bad moments, but all in all, it's just a bunch of guys that love comics. And I'm so grateful. You know, the last 45 years, essentially, I've been buying comics. This is one of my favorite moments. So thank all of you for that. Okay, and I'm going to end the video. Oh, you want to know about a series? Guys, I talk about this one all the time. Lady Killer, there's a volume 1 and there's a volume 2. I would recommend go on eBay, buy the volume 2. It's cheap. You probably get all 5. There's only 5 books in the series. It's Joelle Jones. She's told me that she is going to be doing more of these, but you could buy all 5 books probably for 15 bucks and read them. I'm thinking you will love them. It's really well written. It's an interesting series. So with that, I'm going to congratulate again Comics Corner Club. You have a great channel. I love watching your videos. I love how much you do for the community. 9.8 crew. If you get a chance, check out some of their live stuff. You know, we need some videos soon from you guys. And with that, I'm going to leave it off there. Silver Age Dave, Comics Corner Club, support Shoutout, signing out.